So I was going through this account audit a couple days ago. We had this client reach out to us to kind of take a look at the account and just kind of give us our thoughts. We had already gone through a LinkedIn advertising account for them a couple weeks ago and gave them some recommendations. Not exactly sure what their management staffing situation is like, but again, another one. They reached back out to us to look at their AdWords account. As I was going through this, a couple days later, I thought it'd be a good one to show on a video. A few things really stood out on this one. So this is a lead gen account, and one of the really important things about a lead gen account is not just the leads you drive, but the quality of the leads you drive. So you may be in a situation where you've got an account that it's got a great cost per lead, but the quality is really poor, and you might even see that cost per lead increase to drive more to a better quality lead. But we have kind of a methodology where we work alongside the client. We pass as much data into their CRM or whatever they're using as we can, and kind of do a pass back where we can, maybe it's monthly or kind of review the data back to what we're managing on a daily basis, which is towards the cost per lead, and connect with the quality of the lead. So at first glance, I kind of went into this account. Again, just a reminder, I'm doing this as on the old interface just because it's a little easier to not stumble around. So my first glance, I came in and I looked and saw, okay, so the last few months, the by far the bulk of the spend has been going to this one particular campaign, and it also looked like this one particular campaign had the best cost per conversion. So I thought, okay, that's interesting. There must be something more to this. So I kind of continued through my audit, but and took note of that to go back to it. And a couple other things is, just on this campaign view, I noticed they're running some sort of a display Gmail campaign that had, spent over $3,000 with zero conversions. Which seemed odd that would still be running. So again, it's something I kind of took a note of. And then again, we've got two other campaigns down here with a pretty high cost per lead compared to the other campaigns. And then a display remarketing campaign, not a ton of spend behind it, but also no conversions. So again, a few things to take note. I just had a conversation, we talk about this a lot with clients and potential clients, how we view sort of this search loss and impression share to budget. So we generally manage our accounts to the budget. So we don't like to see a high impression share loss to budget in most cases. Typically, when we see that, we think that the cost per lead is too high. So if we're losing, in this case, you've got 42% lost impression share to budget. So theoretically, you could lower the cost per click, get more clicks within your daily budget, and if your conversion rate stays the same, you should get a lower cost per conversion. So we bid that way. So if a client, and this was the case I had discussed this week with a client, they're increasing their budget from 20,000 to 30,000. Well, we can't just increase our daily budgets. We have to increase bids, because for 6 months now we've been targeting our daily bids, or our bids to a specific daily budget. So again, that's another red flag to me, is just looking at that. And I always, my first reaction is, great, you've got, you can definitely get a lower cost per lead, given the extent that you have this much lost impression share to budget. So the first one to take a look at, and kind of the most important one, is this fast business loan one, which again is the reason we're looking at it. It's got the lowest cost per lead, spent by far the most over the months. Why is it off? Usually I kind of go through these, and then I'll ask the client some questions, and then I'll kind of take a look back. So it's got one ad group that spent, the vast majority of it. So let's take a look at this ad group. And kind of my immediate is, what do I see? I see the number one keyword in here is broad match, straight broad match. So you've got broad match, exact match, and phrase match. Again, while I'm not going to really get into structurally why we do ours differently, we've got almost all of the budget, if not all the budget in this campaign, going to one keyword, and it's broad match. So huge red flag to me. So whenever I see that, I want to immediately see what search terms are matching to this. So I take a look at the search terms. Oops. Okay. So here we got a client that's driving business loans. Right now, they told me that they're running at a loss for the leads they're driving through paid search. I look in the account, I've got the highest spending campaign, but the lowest cost per lead campaign recently shut off right before we're doing this audit. I go in and see the vast majority of spend going to broad match. So as I was going through here, the first thing I see, the number one keyword, get a loan today. Number two, money loan. Again, two top keywords driving the most amount of leads are completely irrelevant to what they're actually selling. And again, third one, this one's not bad, but you've got, continue down the line here, and the vast majority of these search queries have nothing to do with a business loan. So immediately, I kind of knew the answer to the lead quality problem. And again, we typically, very very rarely will run straight broad match keywords. And again, this is an example, especially in an account like this. It would take a lot to be on top of this to make sure that every search term coming through was business related. And again, looking at the one reason you might do that is to open up more volume, but like we talked about in the beginning with the loss impression share to budget, the volume's not the issue. So again, pretty obvious reason why why the lead quality is poor. And, we see this time and time again, even though I'll take a look at the ad. It's probably, I don't remember, but again, it is business related, but we see this time and time again, people not reading the ad and then people not reading the landing page. We've got one of our larger clients is an adoption agency, and we cannot we cannot block enough pet keywords. And meanwhile, our ad copy has nothing to do with pets, and the landing pages are obvious they have nothing to do with pets. So you got to be aware that you'd like to think the ad will completely filter that, but unfortunately, people you might type loan, they see loan, and they just click, and then they just fill out the form, or thinking they might offer that a different type of loan as well when this is strictly a business loan company. So that was the one of the biggest things, and I'll go through one more, not to go through everything, but I wanted to take a look at this Gmail campaign to see why it might be running. We haven't had the most success, especially lead gen running. We don't run a lot of Gmail campaigns in general. So I go in here, and I didn't know anything about this at the time, and I just wanted to check out the what this was being targeted towards. And so I go in here, assuming it's some sort of interest or remarketing one. This is where I started. This page loads. Again, so I see two lists right here. I see one is a Gmail address list that was uploaded in here, and another one is a similar audience. So I thought, okay, that's interesting. Maybe this was a remarketing campaign, but again, there's a similar audience campaign. So those are, so from here I had a call with a client, and this was one of the things I asked about. As I said, hey, why are you still running this Gmail campaign? It's spent, over $3,000 with not a single lead. And he had mentioned, oh, well, we're targeting people that have Gmail addresses that have submitted leads. It's a retargeting campaign. And I kind of, I brought him right in here and said, yeah, I think you think you're doing that, but there's actually a similar audience campaign in here, or ad group in here as well. So again, this has been running for more than 6 months without a single lead. So again, too big. Again, we run into this a lot. It's just go into an account that's being managed by another agency or another, or a consultant or even an in-house team member, and there's just a couple of just major issues that are, unfortunately giving this client a bad taste for paid search when, cleaning up these, and the account will need some further management and work after that, but two major issues, will make a significant difference. And that's the service that we offer, above and beyond some of these other clients is, we'll go in and fix these things. You can go into any one of our accounts and you will never find an issue, like these in ours. We manage them very heavily and well and structurally. Let us know if you have any questions. Thanks.